Hey everyone, it's Byron here again to testify for Jesus Christ. Been out for some time. I'm going to explain that here in this video. This has been a tough video for me to get to doing. It's been a probably March time frame, April, May, something like that. I had a dream in which the Lord showed me I was ridiculing people, and in the dream I saw where a lady, it's a black lady, I don't know that that matters. She was actually running from me and hiding under death, as if she was in fear of me. And then I heard the word spoken, ridicule. Took me a long time to see what God was showing me. And I don't know if any of you ever looked into certain things, the way we grow up, the things we experience. When we get to a certain point, we kind of normalize things, meaning if I grew up in this particular environment, that's normal to me. If I grew up in a different environment, that's normal to me. Well, if I grew up where ridiculing others, and specifically I want to say contemptuous language, use of contemptuous language is used, regardless of how it's used or why it's used, it's wrong. And the Lord showed me that. I would say he rebuked me, or he chastened me as a child with a father, or as a son with a father. And honestly, when he did so, I thought on it a long time. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to do things like that. But it came to me as if, Byron, you're doing this as if it's second nature, or by your own nature, and you're not even aware of what's going on. And I did a video yesterday intending on publishing it, or day before yesterday, intending on publishing it. Within the video, I actually use contemptuous language, and I am apologizing for that. I want to admit my fault, and also I want to admit to each person who has the opportunity to pray is to pray for me, to pray that what has afflicted me, what the Lord has corrected me on, I could overcome, and I can do that through the Spirit of God, relying on him instead of myself, but also through prayer. And I want to read some scriptures here while I'm asking for prayer. I want to read some scriptures here that I believe fit the bill. In James chapter 5, verse 16, the scripture says, "Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much." That's the main scripture that I wanted to use. But it goes on to talk about Elijah. It says, "Elias was a man subject to like passions as we are, and he prayed earnestly that it might not rain. And it rained not on the earth by the space of 3 years and 6 months." And it goes on to reinforce that issue. I wasn't even going to get on here and do this video, but it seems that doing this video is kind of required in order that I move on. And last night the Lord showed me where I was holding up some other people getting some information they needed, some product type things that they needed to do their job. I was delaying shipping stuff to them, and my delay was hampering them. So I needed to get this out there. I want to apologize. My intent is not bad. There's been times when I have come down on particular denominations, and it may have been taken harshly, and I've been harsh. There's been times when I've come down on particular teaching. I've been harsh. I've used contemptuous language, and perhaps doing a shotgun blast out into nowhere where maybe everybody could hear has been hurting or causing people to have concern or worry or whatever. My intent was never to do bad. However, I want to tell you that I believe that each of us may have something within ourselves that we do just because that's how we learn to be. maybe we learned to be successful that way when it's not necessarily a good way. So I apologize. I ask for prayer. I have confessed my fault towards you. The Lord has pointed this out to me, and I'm seriously hoping and praying that I will overcome this. Now, having done this, I just want to say there's many things the Lord has shown me about how we learn in our lives and how we struggle in the renewing of our mind. And He's used myself as an example to teach myself. So I'll be talking about that further later on. But for now, I want to let you go. I love you all. I never intended harm, never intended bad, but I have been chastened. I have been rebuked by the Lord, and I was shocked. I was almost in denial until I saw when I tried to do another video, the same thing came back out of me, and I'm like, Lord, I see what you're talking about. So, in going forward, pray for me. I appreciate it. Thank you.